Okay, we are now episode 10 of Eat, Drink, and Be Scary. It's a podcast where we talk about scary things, kind of, I guess. Not in a scary way. We don't put like fake scary music on it. Or
I get scared talking about the things.
We've talked about whale penis, and that's scared a lot of people,
pretty damn scary. Yeah, my friend said he looked that up for the first time in his life, thanks to us. So you're welcome.
You know, it's funny because, and before I still have to introduce us and all that fun stuff. But listening to other podcasts or listening to like YouTube videos to do research, and they're always like, and there they were on the mountaintop with a bloody, hairy creature above them. And it's really hard to listen to. It's like super hard. In fact,
I watched you do the whole show that way.
But then, like, even today, Tanya's like, I'm not sure I can listen to this anymore. We were doing some research. She's like, I don't think I can listen to it.
I had to stop.
Yeah, but
everything he said sounded like this, no matter what it was.
It was scary.
Every
music.
single inflection was exactly the same.
Building toward no real resolve.
It's like that show on Netflix talking about King Solomon's magic. This guy, he has a lisp at the end of everything that he says. I don't even know how that's possible. It's just like he's talking about magic and how it's really important. It was horrible.
Horrible?
It was horrible.
All right, so anyway, I'm one of your hosts. My name is Bill, and with us is...
Tanya.
Ryan.
And another one of your hosts, Tom.
Hey!
Isn't that how it works?
Hi, everybody. And like I said, not only that do we eat, drink, and be scary, and today we're drinking Bloody Marys. And why is that, Tanya? Why?
Because we're going to be talking about Bloody Mary.
Ooh la la. And other urban-type legends that you've probably done at sleepovers with your friends.
I was going to say, I was trying to think of times that I've done this with my friends during sleepovers.
You never have? What'd you do?
Your friends during
They had
sleepovers,
pillow
don't lie.
fights.
Yeah,
What did you do at sleepovers when you were a kid?
Nothing crazy. I mean, I know that we went out to a lot of cemeteries. That's pretty much how all this started for me.
God, I never did that when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
No? What'd you do?
I don't know. Played
So when
played
did you become
Nintendo.
a skeptic
Like
then?
just played. We just played like video games all night.
So were you scared to go out when you were a kid to cemeteries?
I think so. I think like at the time you just believed in these things because you've seen it. I don't know. I've never seen the movie Salem's Lot when I was a kid and the little ghost scratching on the window, little other kid, and that scared the crap out of me. So it's like nighttime was just off limits unless it was my friends and I like running around the golf course, like finding golf balls in the middle of the night. As a little child, like a 12-year-old, being outside scared the crap out of me.
No, I guess that's true. Just a fear of the dark in general.
I don't know. I was always looking for something in the dark.
Did you guys ever have that thing where you held your breath when you passed cemeteries? When you were a kid?
No.
You're driving by cemeteries, you have to hold your breath the whole time?
No, I would have just passed out. I was in them for so long.
Maybe that was what my parents were trying to hope for then. I don't know, yeah.
I've inherited my dad's dad joke, though. Every time I drove by a cemetery when I was a kid, my dad would always say, hey, Dad, he'd say, hey, kids, you know what that fence around the cemetery is for? And we'd like, no, Dad, what? And then he would say, because people are dying to get in. And then he'd go, ho, 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 ho. Like we've never heard the joke before. But you know what? I can't drive back by a cemetery now without doing that to my kids.
So my 6-year-old Ian, we were driving by a cemetery, and I go, hey, Ian, how many people are dead in that cemetery? And he looked at me and he goes, all of them?
That's my dad's joke.
Yeah, I was going to say that's Tanya's dad joke. So
I thought it was funny.
Okay.
And I couldn't say, like, oh, shit, you got that right. So I'll just sit here and be quiet for the next
How old
20
is he?
minutes. 6.
Outsmarted.
Yeah.
So in our research for Bloody Mary, we did learn a few things. I learned a few things. First of all, I always just assumed as a child that Bloody Mary was just a person. Everybody had the same Bloody Mary thing, and you go in the mirror, and you spin 3 times, and then you start to see the face. But the origin is actually a lot different than I thought, and I think you guys too. I don't know if you guys... What did you guys think? Bloody Mary. First of all, did anybody here ever do Bloody Mary as a child? Because I did.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I did a Bloody Mary thing.
Yeah,
I wasn't
me neither.
allowed to.
But what,
Forbade.
like when you went over to a friend's house, you had to sleep over with friends, and they would be like, hey, you want to go to the beer, go Bloody Mary? Did you go like, Mom said no.
No, just all of us were kind of like, you weren't allowed to do that. I was raised extremely religious, so you didn't dabble.
Did you watch
You
Beetlejuice?
didn't dabble in the arts. No. I did not see that until well into my late 20s.
What about Casper?
No.
He was
I'm not joking.
He's
I
a
was
friendly
in-
ghost.
I was in first or second grade, and they were watching Casper at school, and I got pulled into another room to do homework because I could not watch the movie.
It's kind of sad. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no scary parts.
I know.
You should go back and watch it.
That's actually
Oh, I've
that's not
seen it.
true.
I've seen it
It's not
since.
scary. It could be scary for a kid.
I guess, yeah.
It can be scary. He like Beetlejuice tries to bite everybody. He turns into a real.
We're talking about
Really?
Casper.
Oh, Casper. We're talking about Casper still. Oh, Casper's not scary at all. Never
No,
mind.
but
No, but
I
it's
don't
three.
remember that part with Eric
But
Idle.
Casper
maybe.
was a ghost.
I know. I was thinking, when did Beetlejuice show up in Casper and try to bite everybody?
Yeah, I was thinking. Sorry, I got lost.
That'd make a better movie.
That would make a great movie.
I'm on a 15-second delay over here.
It's
Thanks to the Bloody Marys.
It's the Bloody Marys. What? Yeah, sir. What? Turn your radio down? Oh, yeah, sorry. All right, so anyway, so this is a very interesting thing. I want to talk about this for a second. Bloody Mary, the story of the looking in the mirror and seeing somebody, there's a lot of different variations of where it came from, but the one that is most known is the Halloween poem called Halloween by Robert Burns, and he describes a ritual that the British used for the purpose, and it was typically a woman, and I don't know if this was supposed to be on Halloween or not, that you would look into a mirror, and then you were supposed to see the person that you were going to marry. And this actually became a very famous thing that actually was even brought into cards, like gift cards and things like not gift cards, whatever. Yeah, I guess they were called like a give someone a card. Not a gift card. It's not like in 16th century they give you like a Outback Steakhouse gift card, but that's just like a card, like a nice card.
greeting card.
A greeting card. Thank you. That's why you're our producer, because I can't figure out a freaking.
There is a 15-second delay because you said that like 6 times.
Oh, I have headphones on,
Oh.
and I'm only listening to you, and she's listening to you to. So
To you.
I'm listening to you guys, and she's listening to.
you.
First time caller, long time listener. All right, so anyway, but this story got scary because if you were never going to get married and die alone, you would see the Grim Reaper.
It's better than seeing like 50 cats and like the reflection.
Yeah.
You're going to die alone, but you're going to have 50 cats.
I saw a giant litter box. I'm destroyed.
Right? If you've been sitting alone that long, you're like, hey, man, come on in. I'll microwave you some pizza rolls. They got some Jeopardy on.
That's awesome.
Don't take Alex Trebek.
Too soon. All right, so anyway,
Too soon.
no, I think he's going to be okay, though. I don't know. I think he's kind of in
It's
remission.
looking good.
Alex Trebek. I don't know. What is
You didn't know
pancreas
that?
cancer?
Pancreatic cancer seems like he's okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he had it really bad, like
It's like
stage
the
5.
one person in a bajillion.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not good enough for...
The ratings are up, though. So that's good. The
Right.
ratings are really high.
for Patrick.
Okay, so... Yeah, again, too soon. So then... The story was around forever and ever, and it didn't become popular in the U.S. until the 70s, when it was written about in Mary Worth, which is, are you guys familiar with Mary Worth? Just children stories, Mary Worth. Anyway, they made reference to it. And after that, they don't know where the origin came from, because there was Mary Worth. Did it come from that? Mary Wells, Mary, Queen of Scott, Queen Mary the First, even Black Agnes. These are all people that, and even like in Tennessee, they say that it was the Bell Witch.
Well, what's interesting is Mary the First of England, she was trying to reestablish Catholicism and killed a lot of Protestants in her time, and she actually had the nickname Bloody Mary. But what I think people are confusing is with, instead of Bloody Mary, it was probably Elizabeth Bathory. She was the one she was a Hungarian queen who basically killed virgins that she had working for her and drained the blood and basically bathed in it to try to stay young. And I'm wondering, it's a true story. Look it up.
What is that? Is that slave blood? You're soaking in it.
Well, basically,
It's got to be fresh, though. You
Yeah.
imagine, right?
in a virgin, right?
Oh,
That's a lot of virgins.
Tom,
Or
watch
a
out.
tiny tub.
Tom, watch out.
Oh man,
Virgin blood.
I am shaking.
no. But what's really interesting about that story is she killed many people and drain them almost completely of their blood just so she could bathe in it. And she thought that she was staying young and beautiful because of it. And as a punishment, which is brilliant, they just hold her up in the middle of nowhere in this tower and gave her mirrors. So she was looking at herself, which she thought she was getting older and older and older and older, and there was no one that went out there to take care of her, so she just basically lost her mind. So it's pretty interesting.
That's
to me.
terrifically terrible.
Yeah, that's how we should punish people now.
Right.
Well, didn't they? So
insanity.
Mary the First.
Yeah.
Wasn't she referred to as
Bloody
Mary?
Because she was referred to as Bloody Mary because she killed all those Protestants.
Oh, she's the one that did. But I thought she was the one also that had the babies. Like the false pregnancy.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the other one too. Like they say, because there's other stories that say you'll see her holding a baby.
Right.
There's a lot of different versions of Bloody Mary, and that's the other one. There's a lot of things you're supposed to say, but one thing that we haven't touched on is what happens. What's supposedly going to happen to you upon saying Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary 3 times in front of the mirror. The worst being when they say there's little scratches, which that's that can happen. If you're in the bathroom with the lights off and you run up against an electric toothbrush, you might get a little scratch. I could see that. Decapitation, that's the worst one. And that might be hard to explain. Unless you backed up into your dad's razor or something. I don't know. But
I don't know. The Final Fantasy movie saw a lot of colorful ways for people to die in the bathroom. Just randomly. That's unbelievable, right?
Yeah, and then there's the eye gouging one. That one kind of sucks.
Yeah. Because you're in a dark bathroom, but then again, you don't know what's going on in there. Why does everything have to happen with the lights off? Why does ghost hunters always have to search?
In the dark.
That's true.
Yeah, you just said it. When you were a kid, you were scared.
Yeah, but nothing happened to me. I was scared of nothing.
Well, how many times did you do the Bloody Mary thing? Was it just once?
No, we did it. We used to do it a lot. We would have kids come over and then we tell them to do it and then lock them in the bathroom.
So something did happen. I mean,
of course, like 1 out of 6 kids figured out how they could just turn the light on. The other ones all just scream their heads off, and then it's like, open the goddamn door.
That bugs me too. It's like when people put a bag over your head and you try to grab your hand instead of just poking a fucking hole in the mouth. That always bugs me. Just poke a hole. It's plastic. Poke a hole in it.
You're talking about movies and not real life, right? Like.
Well, yeah. I'm not going to talk about BDSM on the podcast.
You're making this sound like it happened today.
9 out of 10 people I put a bag over their
head.
head.
They don't know, man. They just
they
suffocate. That's your fault for being stupid.
It is. It's survival of the fittest.
Idiot. Gah!
The duct tape is just another way to enforce Darwinism. Come on, guys.
Okay, so knowing that that's kind of where the story from, one of the things that I want to talk about is what we were talking about before, which is the Pascal Boyer. Then he argued that there is minimal counterintuitive, and you know a little bit about that, Tom, which is why people are so fascinated with these things.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting because the whole idea about the minimal counterintuitive bias is that if you have one thing that goes along with something's culturally accepted worldview already, so they'll just readily accept that. In a story, you also need to have a couple of just like completely counterintuitive aspects to it that make it really interesting, that bite into your imagination so that you'll remember it. And it really doesn't even matter if you know that it's fake, because you can be told that something is fake when you get told it to you. But if it's interesting enough, it'll stay in your mind. And as it kind of permeates society and you hear it more often, you'll just kind of think that it's true just from hearing it so often with familiarity. So that's the reason they put that in there. But they found actually through study that for the Bloody Mary story itself, that says that with the Bloody Mary, Sarah mirror, like her name in the mirror 3 times, that's like the one big constant thing that everybody can think, okay, I've heard that before. And then you have to do something really counterintuitive, and this study found that it's 2.6 or 2.36 elements that are counterintuitive in almost every story out of 45 online versions.
So to me, it just sounds like psychic driving. Right.
Well, yeah, somewhat. It has to be. I mean, the whole idea is that you've really conditioned somebody to this before you ever shove them in the dark room.
Well, right. It's kind of like talking about a ghost story. Like we've talked about your ghost story before, Bill, where we said, "Oh, you made a joke and told them, hey, this thing happened at this location," and then you come back 20 years later and you're like, people really believe and they've seen this type of thing.
Right.
Right. Another interesting thing about looking into a mirror is Troxler's effect, and that's basically where if you look into a mirror or any reflective surface in a really dim room for long enough, your mind basically starts to distort what you're looking at. It's very similar to Gestalt psychology and looking at birds and stuff in clouds, because your brain's looking at an image for so long, it starts to get bored. So it tries to basically keep itself entertained, and that's why you start seeing the things that you do in the mirror.
And that has to go a little bit with us trying to find face in things too, correct?
Right.
Like the fact that everybody tries to see a face in something.
Yeah. Like, I think just recently there was the angry cat in an apple. Did you guys see that?
No.
It was the post said, "Forget Mary on toast or Jesus on toast. We have angry cat in an apple." It's pretty funny.
The grumpy cat that died?
Yeah.
Now he's back?
No.
In an apple.
Oh. Grumpy Cat's back in an apple?
Oh, we don't need an effigy of the Virgin Mary anymore? That doesn't do it for people?
I guess not. I mean...
Not in this electronic day and age, online. The savior is the grumpy cat.
Right. You know, the memes are going to be our new form of...
communication.
Yeah, with religious deities. You know.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who speak specifically just in memes. Like they'll just
In
send
derpy?
And
me...
they're still your friends?
They speak in
I
dirt.
don't know. They just like... You sit there and... Yeah, you say something to them, and they send back a little animated meme of like from a movie clip where somebody goes, "I don't know," in the movie. Like that's like, don't talk to me that way. Just it took longer. It would take me 10 minutes to find an image to respond to that.
You know, I have something to say about that. It has nothing to do with the show, but I think it's just that people don't have like any kind of like self bravado, so they just adopt whatever's really easy and put it out there, and it's really bad for society because there's no individualism. But that's something completely different.
All right, well, so that the story of Bloody Mary, and this actually we'll talk a little bit because this is somewhat related to the Candyman, or Candyman. By the way, was the Candyman? And it's a movie, but was that story prior to the movie? Was there a story Candyman?
You know, I'm not sure. We'll have to check that out.
Because now people think it's a thing.
The movie scared me as a kid because I was a kid when that came out, and I remember that movie specifically freaking me out because I was like 8, but. I didn't want to do that, and I had done the Bloody Mary thing before, but because I had watched the Candyman thing happen, I guess, on the movie in front of me, maybe it just held more weight, and that I didn't want to do. I do remember that.
I just remember watching that movie and thinking, this is boring. But then again, I grew up
But
watching...
he's got a hook, man!
I don't care. I grew up watching Tales from the Crypt with my grandma.
Oh, yeah.
What was bad is she can laugh exactly like the Crypt Keeper.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd be like, "Hey, I'm going to go get something to drink." And I'm like, "Okay." And here I am alone. Like
That makes me nostalgic, the Crypt Keeper.
7 watching Tales from the Crypt, and she come running down the hallway laughing like the Crypt Keeper. So that was always a little bit more to me than the Candyman. But
So I think Tanya was probably looking it up too.
I am.
I think you're on the same page I am. It looks like. So what'd you find out?
So the Candyman was actually a slave who they think was named Daniel Robitaille, who worked on a plantation in Nolens. And he was a very talented painter, and he basically was asked to paint the plantation owner's daughter. And in the process of painting her portrait, he fell in love with her, and then that
you
caused...
gave her the hook?
Huh?
You gave her the hook?
The hook.
Well,
It sounds like the plot to the movie. Are you reading something like IMDb?
no.
This is a black,
but
white
it's
romance in the days of slaves.
They tried to chase him out of town, and then he tried to run away. Chase him out of town, tried to run away. Anyway,
Did she go
they
with
caught him. They cut his hand off with a saw.
His painting hand?
Yes.
Okay.
Whoa!
Covered him with honey.
Here comes the hook.
Covered him with honey, threw him in a beehive, and then he eventually died of his injuries.
The bee stings or the blood from the loss of blood?
It just says his injuries.
Hey, enough honey. He could
I'm
become
sure it was
mummified.
probably a culmination
Right.
of all of the above. But what you're supposed to do to summon the Candyman is you look into a mirror and then say Candyman 5 times, and he'll appear behind you and kill you with his hook.
Why?
I don't know.
Because he's pissed off, man. Because
Well, why would Bloody Mary do that though?
Because she killed lots of
Because she was
people.
pissed off.
Well, we don't know which Bloody Mary is Bloody Mary though. Could be a couple different ones.
Well, we have to get her to come here. And
Well,
then-
I mean, if you're a slave, you're going to be angry. Especially you're a white dude.
Me? Yeah. Well, I'm not expecting him to show up and give me a jar of honey.
he's not Sammy Davis Jr. The Candyman can.
See, That's the thing. I felt like they were really missing out when they didn't put that song in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
When what part would that be good?
Like if they played it like super scary, eerily.
Who can take
It's
the
like-
sunrise?
It's like in Christine when they started playing that 50s song. I don't remember the song.
Oh yeah, it's
But it
Little
made
Richard. Keep rocking, but you can't come in. When he was stuck inside and he couldn't get out of the car.
No, but there was the one song he kept playing during. Every time the car would start back up, it started playing that one song. And it worked. It really, really worked. So I get it. Yeah. You could sit there and make a scary version of it.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So anyway, going back, we're gonna try and get Bloody Mary to come here.
Well, let's talk about the scrying.
And that's what I'm going to say. We're going to talk about. So you brought a special thingy.
Yeah, it's a 150-year-old black obsidian scrying mirror. Scrying is basically you look into a reflective image or reflective surface, excuse me, and you see the spirit realm, and you can ask questions. You can basically the one that everybody knows is the fortune teller's crystal ball. But I figured if we're going to try to conjure up the Candyman and Bloody Mary, why not use something that's old and been passed down for generations doing this kind of thing? So
Where'd you get this?
So we actually have an occult gift shop here in Boise called Alter Egos, and Danny, she actually makes scrying mirrors, but this is hers from a long time ago. So I'm excited.
It's awesome. The people can't see it. This thing is really awesome. It looks like.
We're going to post a picture of it.
Yeah, we'll take a picture of it. And so what we're going to do now is we've already got the curtains drawn, and we're going to turn out some lights.
It is very romantic in here.
And who wants?
That wasn't the word I was.
Who wishes to try and summon?
I'll do the Bloody Mary one because
cool.
I don't want the Candyman to show up.
Time you're getting less worship, but you want the. I'll do the Candyman.
Cool. Let's do it.
Oh, I got to turn off. Hold on. Let me.
man.
Let me turn down my computer. Okay. It's very romantic in here.
Oh, it is nice.
So what happens if two people say Bloody Mary in the mirror at the same time? Does she just pick one to ruin their life, or
One
what?
gets decapitated and the other one gets scarred for life.
Cool.
Well, how do you think people still know this? I mean, like, obviously they're survivors.
Right. Well, here's my thing. If I look into that mirror and it shows in this mirror too, I'm like really screwed.
Yeah. What if there's more than one mirror in the bathroom? That's a good question.
Like one
what
of
if she
those
shows up
infinity
behind
mirrors?
you? Well, is she supposed to show up behind you or come out of the mirror?
What if she sees her own reflection?
Ooh.
And then she like kills herself, and that's how it is. That's the end of.
We just
And I just
solved
can't.
Bloody Mary.
And I did. That's the end of a movie. Someone's
Whoa.
going to take that and make
Aren't-
that. Bloody
aren't-
Mary killed Bloody Mary.
Aren't mirrors facing themselves a demon box?
Yes, and that is actually one of the things that we are going to talk about. But that's
Or
the thing.
the infinite loop of mirrors.
Yeah,
Can
where
we,
you're supposed
like,
to.
trap Bloody Mary.
You're supposed to go there, and you're supposed to see the true side of yourself. One of the sides of the mirror is supposed to look at you, or something. We'll go deeper into that.
Interesting.
But right now, Ryan's going to. Hey, Tom, why don't you go ahead and hand him that mirror?
Okay.
He'll hold it for you, and you can just keep the mic.
Oh, okay, great.
So,
Am I saying it one time or third time?
So you say so? Bloody Mary is 3 times.
Okay.
Now there are different things that they say that there's different ways to do it. You can light a candle. You can surround yourself in salt.
Surround yourself in salts kind of prevents the whole thing.
The one that they say you're supposed to turn the light on. But the other one that's kind of interesting is the flush in the toilet, which we're not going to do right now. Which is very interesting that's one of the things that either is supposed to, like maybe cheat. That is annoying.
I would think leaving the toilet seat up would make more sense.
Yeah, she'd be pissed then.
All right, so I'm just gonna. I can't even see myself.
This black
Do we
mirror is
need to
actually
light
kind
a
of imposing
candle?
looking.
Do we need to light a candle so you have a little bit of light?
Oh sure, yeah.
Oh yeah, we can light a candle. I've got one that smells like batter, and one that smells like some sort of berry.
So that's the best part of the ceremonial ritual magic is the scented candle.
Yeah, it has to. It has to be a scented candle.
Do you
right?
want apple
Something
cinnamon
very nice
crisp or
smelling.
lemon cookie?
Ooh, let's do the lemon cookie.
I think lemon cookie might go, and that would be nice too.
Maybe she'll just get really excited and be like,
What?
"Where's my cookie?"
What if you just did a courtesy flush for her? Would she be like,
Halfway through.
yeah, just like Bloody Mary, Bloody... Wait a second, Bloody Mary.
Sorry about that. Ooh,
Yeah.
Tacos.
You just like spray a little Febreze in the bathroom afterwards, and she's like, no, that's cool. But if I was stuck in a bathroom and I had to watch people poop all day, I'd probably want to kill them too.
Why is it the bathroom though? I mean, like, is it?
Well, it doesn't have to. So the research does that. You're right. That's generally it's a room that you can get really dark. It's a room that you can get. Oh, this is really good. This is
Ooh, this is ominous.
you.
I told you this Black Mirror thing is kind of intimidating just from the get-go.
Okay.
It looks really cool from over here.
All right. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary.
Did anything happen?
Nope.
All right. We're going to try it again. I want you to be really... Okay, is the candle still lit?
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
You want me to say it again?
Yeah, do it again.
Get closer.
I don't want her to reach out and grab me. I'll smack her face with this microphone. All right, here we go. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary.
Okay, what did you see?
Nothing.
Not even yourself?
Just myself.
Open your eyes, damn it.
Just myself.
You forgot to take the lens cap off.
So what's interesting is the mirror. Like I feel looking at this mirror, just because it's old and like what it means. There's definitely an eerie feeling.
Oh yeah, there's an energy just holding this mirror.
But I didn't see anything in particular. I think everyone should try it just so they can feel this mirror. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's ominous.
All right, so we're gonna do the Candy Man one now.
Yes, and is that something that you want to do?
No, I'll hold it for Tom since he's here, and then you guys should try it too.
Yes. We're gonna hold it for each other because, like Ryan said, it's romantic in here.
What if I was just like Prince? Prince. Like, just purple rain everywhere.
oh man!
All right, hold on.
So wait, we're doing Candyman right now?
You hear that? That's
Okay. Oh, actually, this is kind of cool because I can actually see.
No, yeah.
I can see in the mirror.
So you see what I'm talking about? Like, it's just kind of got a strange.
No, so I've
vibe
just
to it.
got the faintest reflection from this. Okay, so I can't see really anything but myself in the candle. So I'm up here and it's 5 times.
5 times.
5 times.
Mhm.
Okay. Candyman, 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 Candyman. I got nothing. Nothing in front of me. No change.
Try it again.
Okay. I'm going to get closer because I'm not a wuss like Ryan.
Think hard about the Candyman.
I am not saying.
You're just checking.
I
your
have to
hair,
tell
man.
you something really weird happened when you finished that. I have the brightness 100% turned down on my screen, so that way it would be dark in here. When you finished saying Candyman, it turned back on the Candyman page.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Result.
Man.
Well, I'm over here, man. You're...
Well, my screen is black, and it looks like a mirror.
That's crazy.
Ooh.
Whoa. Were you looking at it? Or... See, that's the thing.
I
What if there's more
wasn't.
than one mirror? Now I'm really freaked out. There's shit behind me.
There's a giant mirror behind you.
Yeah.
There's a giant mirror.
Was anybody watching that? Because
No, well, it was weird because I was watching you do it, and then it just. Boop,
Well, there's
just
a reflection in that
pops up.
painting right there too by Tanya.
yeah.
All right,
Okay,
let's
so
do it again.
am I doing it again?
Do it again.
Okay. Now make sure
Think
your
hard.
hands are
Concentrate.
near you.
Concentrate. Think
No
of
keyboard.
Candyman.
Okay, ready? Candyman, 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 Candyman.
I like how you get more aggressive each time you say it.
I want him to come out.
You're like-
Where the fuck are you,
You're
man?
not. He's not very inviting.
He's like Candyman.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Like,
Candyman.
Candyman. Oh, Candyman. He's still not here.
Give me that, honey.
That's really intimidating.
Yeah, I don't see anything. It's kind of weird because I did seem like the middle of the mirror seemed to light up, but I
Yeah.
think it's just because of the angle I was at. So,
It's possible.
yeah. I don't know, but it is. It's pretty. It's this rounded, convex mirror, so...
Here, you should just stare into the mirror really close.
Just really close.
You know, so last week we did try this in the. We tried it in the bathroom after the show.
Are we long enough to go into the bathroom?
Well, you can if you want.
Take the mirror in the bathroom?
Yeah,
Take
but
your
there's
mirror.
more light in there probably than there is in there.
That's true.
Well, I was just talking about the Troxler effect. Like, if it's super close, and he stares at
I'm
that
just supposed to stare at my face, right?
that thing he calls a face for long enough, it's
Thanks.
supposed to have a strange effect.
So am I supposed
Yeah,
to...
so talk about that. Explain that one for a second.
Me?
No, Ryan.
Oh, okay. So the Troxler effect is when you look at your reflection for long enough, your brain starts to get basically bored, and it starts to create these images where you might see parts of your face move or parts of your face become distorted. So it's very interesting. It's one of those things that if you don't know, if you
Yeah,
haven't,
wow, that kind of happens pretty fast, actually.
did it happen? What happened?
Well, like, So, I mean, it's because it's such a dark mirror already, and I have a faint reflection, but I can see, like, the reflection of my face, but in the middle it's very gray looking.
Mm-hmm.
And before too long, that gray really gets washed out and starts to cover more of my face, which I know was illuminated before. But then you can start to see kind of weird shapes inside of that gray. They're unidentifiable, but it's like something's moving on my face where my face was. It's weird.
That's interesting. Now, I know we were talking about the devil boxes earlier, but there's also something called a phantasmagoria. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
It's where you use mirrors and basically images to create a reflection, which a lot of people are using as ghosts, to make fake ghosts. So that's probably another idea where they got the idea of using mirrors as thresholds from one area to another and trying to create some sort of connection between our world and the next.
Right, and I think it's kind of important to say that this has nothing to do with the superstition using mirrors and breaking mirrors. Like, the superstition of broken mirrors is completely different and independent of this. So
there's the Three Kings. Are you familiar with the Three Kings? Because we did talk about it. And this is where you take, at 3:30 in the morning, you take 2 mirrors and put them on both sides of you. And then you end up looking to your left or right, and you see your true self, or something's supposed to be happening to you. I don't know. Are you guys familiar with that one?
No, I'm not yet, because that sounds interesting. While you're laying in bed or something? Are you seeing anything over there, Ryan?
Not yet.
Do you see what I'm saying now? In the middle of your face kind of grays out?
Yeah.
See, I'm not crazy.
It's supposed to, I think it's supposed to do something like it sees your shadow side or something. I'm not 100% sure, but...
Like your shadow side's in one of the mirrors? Or... I don't know. We got to research. We should probably turn the light back on.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. No, sorry.
Oh, what did you see right then?
The light come on.
No, okay. Hallelujah.
So anyway, all right. So the mirror, and now Ryan's face is like an inch from the mirror. You're just like, are you awake?
Yeah, I'm trying to get this Troxler effect to work. Right now, I think everyone's full of shit.
Okay, so one of the other ones I want to talk about, and it's one that we actually tried out here. Tanya, you know about this, and this is, what is this called? This is the scratch one.
Oh, the cat scratch. Got to turn the brightness back on my computer when...
Candyman, can you please turn the brightness back on Tanya's computer?
Thank you.
Yeah, you still hanging out over there with the nude?
All right, cat scratch. So this one, there's not really a lot of history behind it, as far as I can remember. It's just like a story thing that you do. You're supposed to have a friend lay on the floor on their back, and I heard about this from one of my coworkers. She did this when she was a kid with her friends, and it actually worked. Like her friend's they did it to her little sister, her friend's little sister. And she got up and was just covered in scratches. So what you do is you lay down, have a friend lay down, and then you rub their temples as everyone else sits in a circle, and then you tell this story. And there's 2 different stories, and they're both a little weird. Like, one of them is about this old lady who got a cat, and the cat was really nice, and then it got hit by a car and died, and then she got a new cat, and it was really mean, and then it got hit by a car and died, and then the lady decided she didn't want cats anymore, and then you yell, cat scratch, cat scratch, cat scratch, and you jump up, and you're supposed to be covered in cat scratches.
I feel like that was Stephen King's first iteration of Pet Sematary.
Or the second one is just kind of like you're like walking through this scary alley, and you hear something, and you're running, and your heart's beating fast, and you're breathing quick, and then out of nowhere, this cat jumps on you and scratches you. And then you yell cat scratch 3 times. And then they're supposed to get up and be covered in scratches.
Interesting. And it's actually worked?
Well, she said it did. And after that happened, that girl and her sister weren't allowed to come over and play anymore.
Oh, because they summoned the devil?
Because they had scratches on them?
Because she was all scratched up.
Yeah, you see, and that's the thing. There's always that ubiquitous. That happens on all of these. There's a friend of a friend, or my uncle's neighbor's postman's brother.
Or like the guy who's like, oh, I didn't go out and hook up with hose. I was just playing cat scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honey, I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
played cat scratch with the boys.
Yeah,
I played-
down at the bar.
I played stripper scratch. I mean, I played cat scratch.
She
was
danced
Kitty.
the cat scratch.
I pet her all night long. All right, so that one. So we did try it here. And results. You did it. You laid on Ryan's and right.
I did.
And then we all
I laid
screamed
on the
cat-
floor, and you guys sat in a 2-person circle, and we did it, and nothing happened. I did get a really nice temple massage, but that was it.
Okay, so let's talk about the other one we did, which is light as a feather.
That one was actually pretty cool.
So this, I had a different version of this when I was a child. But somebody, Tom, I think you were talking about light of the feather, like you remembered this, or who was it that?
No, not as much me.
Okay, so light of the feather is.
I was way too heavy for anybody.
And
to
I
try
have
lift
to hold on. Let me use the Google to find out what the exact saying is that they do. So it's light.
It really
It's
is
light as a feather,
effective.
stiff as a board, right?
Is
Right.
that it? Oh, there we go. That's the
Stiff as a
first.
board.
It auto-populated.
It was like the
Light
early.
as a feather, stiff as a board.
Early
Board, how to
plaything.
play it, and why it really, really works. All right, so it says anyone here who's ever been a 10-year-old girl has likely played, and that's all of us here. We've all
Yeah.
been
Yep.
10-year-old
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah. In
Light as a
2019,
feather,
it could
stiff
be
as a
anybody,
board.
really.
And this requires slumber. It's a required slumber party game for adolescent females. Was pretty much the rite of passage for any teen with bad makeovers, calling boys on the phone and hanging up. All right. So anyway, that's what it says.
Really? That's
I'm a
like a
little lost.
prerequisite? You got to call a boy and hang
I don't know, but
Down.
so it says how to play. So this is how to play. And I didn't do it. We did it different. I'm going to tell you how it says to do it here. You dim the lights. It says candles are a night's touch or use flashlights. Have one person lay on the floor with their arms crossed over their chest as if they're dead. And then 2 people sit on either side of the shoulders. The knees work best. The 5th person is lifted as well. And have them sit at the head. So you have 2 people on both sides. Somebody at the head.
So head, shoulders,
Knees and toes. That's it. Start by having everyone place 2 fingers under each hand
Wow.
of the person laying in the center, the middle and the index finger. Go ahead and try and lift them as if they are awake. It will be near impossible. One person is the group leader. The person will then tell the story of how the individual in the center is about they're dead and their soul is going to leave their body. Blah blah. I don't know the whole. Anyway, all right. And then you say, light as a feather, stiff as a board, and then everybody tries to do it again, and they get lifted, and everything's fine. Everything's fine and dandy. So we tried this, but we did it differently. When I was a child, what we did is somebody would sit in a chair, two fingers, index fingers, like shoot 'em up guns, index finger, middle finger, hands locked under the knees and in the armpits, which really is gross now if you think about it, but we did it. We did it to you, Tom, right? Didn't we do it to you?
Yeah.
And the first thing is we all tried to lift you. What happened? Tom, what happened?
Nothing. I was
You didn't
like
go-
a
you
potato
didn't-
sack.
Right.
Yeah, it was worthless.
Right. Bag of fertilizer.
And then I don't know if we said it
We did.
or we did. Okay, we said
Yeah,
light as a
we
feather,
just
stiff as a
said it.
board,
Yeah, like we chanted it.
Yeah.
and then we stuck our fingers back in your armpit
Which tickled.
and back under your knees. And then, Tom, what happened?
I came right off of that bar stool.
You came right off?
Right off of it. It was kind of unsettling.
It was for me too.
Yeah, because I did not expect to come up that fast.
It was really interesting. Now I wonder if that's because we're all synchronizing our lifts after we start saying it, or
I personally think 90% of it has to be Tom because Tom now knows to lock up. He locks his body when before you work.
But there's got to be a both, because the first time I definitely felt like there was effort underneath of me, but like it was varying, and I did feel like if I got off of there, I was going to fall over immediately. But the second time when I came up and off of there, I did feel pretty much stable. Like nobody was going to drop me that next second. It was just up.
well, to me it was like trying to lift you the first time. Obviously, you were heavier, right? And then the second time, it was just
It did feel like you were 50 pounds lighter.
significantly lighter.
Thanks, Jenny Craig.
This is George Foreman grills.
It was really weird. We tried to lift you. We couldn't lift you. You went to the bathroom for 20 minutes.
It was the craziest thing. I was a wrestler. I'd jog underneath the hand dryer.
But that was pretty crazy. That was really interesting. That how well it worked, and it worked with us as kids.
Yeah.
We would do that to each other as kids. And
So when you guys were doing this, did you always pick the person that you thought would be the heaviest to lift?
no, it just random. Usually did it to somebody who had never seen it before. That was generally like maybe another kid stayed the night. There was 4 boys growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I being one of them. And if you had another kid come over, it always worked out really well. We could always just show them, like, oh, let's see this thing that we do. But I don't remember what we called it. But ours was you were supposed to put your hand over the person's head, and once you felt the heat, that was supposed to be their soul leaving the body or something like that.
All
It was making
27
them
grams
lighter.
of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that much lighter then.
14 and a half.
I've been in the bathroom and lost more than 27 grams, I think.
Oh, Jesus.
So did Elvis. That's how Elvis, when he died, he lost like 3 pounds.
Yes, he did.
And then somebody flushed it. So it was like, I just accidentally flushed it. I should have kept it. Elvis's last poo. It would have been worth millions.
I heard his actual last words were, "I'm going to the canned ginger," which is terrible.
Yeah, that's a really... I'm going to start saying more profound things.
Right? That's the thing. Yeah, it better be meaningful.
Listen, I'm going to go to the can and time's fleeting, all right? And everybody love everybody else. All right, I'm out.
All right. Take care of the kids in the ghetto.
Yeah.
I'm going to start saying pantaloons. Just a lot.
Just so it's on your headstone.
Yeah. I shall not defecate my pantaloons.
Hey. Bring me my brown pantaloons.
That way no one knows the difference.
Or you could just never announce you're going to the bathroom and just rely on the last thing you say, which could have been really good. Like, hey, we should have French toast in the morning. Hey, that sounds great. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Never have that be the last thing you say.
Right? Just don't announce it.
You just scream as you walk down the hallway, just what you're thinking.
It's like Tourette's.
Well, let me tell you this. I work at a barbershop most days. And this gentleman came in, and he was telling me, he's like, I just heard this story about a woman who was trying to cut off the genitals of her lover.
Like Lorena Bobbitt?
Yeah. And
Wait, trying to... Meaning that sounds like when you say, I'm trying to learn French, you think it sounds like this long period thing.
Oui, right? Anyway.
Oui.
But it sounds like if there's trying and there's try.
So she was going to cut off his penis.
And then it would be just a wee, not a wee.
Right.
Uh-huh.
But what happened was, as she went to do it, he obviously moved, and she cut his thigh. She was charged with a misdemeanor.
I feel stupider.
That's what I said. I just looked at him like, really? You just told me. You're over there trying not to die.
I like jokes like that.
Ba-dum-bum.
I have a really bad joke like
Okay,
that.
let's hear it.
All right, this guy goes to the doctor and he says, "Hey doctor, my voice is really scary and everyone's afraid of me, and no one will. I can't make new friends and I can't get a really good job and everyone's really scary." The doctor says, "Well, let's do an exam and find out what's wrong." Doctor does an exam, comes back, sits the patient down. He says, "Well, listen, it turns out that you have a 18-inch penis, and it's making your voice really deep and it's really scaring people. So what I can do is I can cut off about 10 inches, 12 inches, whatever, and give you a normal-sized penis and see what happens." He's like, "Doctor, I'll do anything." Operation was great, which we assume is a success. Patient goes home, comes in for a 1-week checkoff, and he walks in and goes, "Hey, doc, thanks, man. Now that my penis is only 6 inches, I have lots of new friends. I've actually got a girlfriend now. I got promoted in my job. I'm really excited. Thanks a lot. Hey, by the way, what did you ever do that extra 12 inches the penis?" The doctor says, "I don't know. I think it's around here somewhere." That's... And then there's this one here, which is, what do you call when somebody who has a penis... I guess you would just say, like, well, hey, when a girl goes through an operation and becomes a man, what's it called? It's called an addictomy. All right, then there's that one.
Wow.
Which is kind of close to yours, but anyway.
That's pretty close.
I might cut
And,
that.
Did you guys notice
I
how
might
that
cut that in the
successful
podcast.
guy in
On
Bill's
that
joke
note,
sounded just like
maybe
Bill
we should,
after he gave up
go
the
ahead
10
and start wrapping
inches?
things
I
up.
did notice
It was
that.
uncanny.
Okay, so really sorry. And did you hear that? Hey, did you hear that? Tanya said it's time to wrap it up. All right, so...
Yeah, you say wrap it up after we talk about 3 penis jokes. That's fine.
I'm
Tanya,
sorry,
you
I'm
have to have
all out
one.
of...
Do you have one penis joke? Just give us one.
I don't have any.
You
Oh,
do.
come
I know
on.
you do.
No, I really don't. Because I don't
Can't you
have a
just say-
penis.
Oh, well,
I don't
that's
have
true.
any penis
That's
jokes.
right. You can't be scared of what you don't believe in, folks.
I have vagina jokes, though, and I don't have a vagina.
Do you?
You scared of
You want me
them?
to tell it?
I'm scared.
You want me to tell my one vagina joke?
And
I have more
then
than one.
and then we're gonna wrap up Bloody Mary
Yeah, I feel like...
with the vagina joke.
Okay, ready?
Well, that seems fitting.
Man,
Is
here
this
we
stuff
go.
that we should be talking about?
It is. Man and woman meet date for a very long time. After 5 years, get married. They didn't have sex at all. Honeymoon. The wife strips down naked, lies in bed, and says, okay, we've waited for 5 years. It's time to make it happen. And the husband says, hey, listen, I'm sorry. My mom told me that I shouldn't have sex with women because bad things can happen. And she says, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, we're married now. It can happen. He says, I don't know. My mom told me that women, you guys have teeth down there and that you're going to bite it right off. She says, oh, no, come on. There's no teeth down there. You act like you're going to say something, Ryan. Don't say anything until it's done. You were going to say something. All right, here we go. So anyway, she says, no, there's no teeth down there. He says, I don't believe you. I don't think I want to. I don't think we should have sex. She says, look. She lays on the bed. She spreads her legs. And she says, look really close. Check it out. Do you see any teeth down there? And the guy gets really close, and he looks, and he looks. And he says, you're right. She says, yeah, do you see any teeth down there? And he says, well, no, not with gums like that. And that's... and with that...
hold on. So this old couple is laying in bed. And the woman rolls over, and she's like, I had the strangest dream. I had a dream that I was at a garage sale, and they were selling penises. They had small ones, they had big ones, and...
But they had some of them in bulk.
Right.
And this one's just right.
Yeah. And she goes, the big ones they were selling for $15. And the husband goes, well, what about mine? What were we doing with those? She goes, oh, well, they were just giving those away. Right? And the old man goes, well, I had a dream, same dream, only at my garage sale, they were handing out, or selling vaginas. The old lady goes, okay, well, how much were mine going for? And he goes, oh, that's where they held the garage sale. You know who told me that joke? My grandfather told me that joke.
That's awesome. They have the best jokes.
See, and that's the perfect thing. Just like these things, jokes have to have cultural relevance to stay around. I don't know. I wonder about Bloody Mary. How long is that going to be? We got to put it into the electronic age, man. Bloody Mary on computers.
Sure, let's do it.
And with those bad jokes, I think we're going to call it. So that's just we learned a little bit about the history. Then maybe I think we learned that there's more of the unknown history to Bloody Mary.
Sure.
We learned about the mirror, which is really cool.
I will say I'm sorry if we offended anybody. Those jokes were kind of...
Listen, it's your fault for listening this far into the podcast. Really, you should.
Yeah, if you're still here.
You should have cut out 20 minutes ago, like everybody else did. And with that, next week I'm excited. We're gonna talk a little bit about
the American Dyatlov Pass.
Yeah, which is a really interesting tale.
It's very strange.
Yeah,
Honestly.
and if you don't know what that is, don't Google it. Just wait until next week. And remember, subscribe and tell your friends to listen. Send us a message. We actually have got a few people that have reached out. They've been telling us that they like it, which is nice. Hey, rate us on Spotify or iTunes or any of that fun stuff. Anything else? Anybody got anything they want to add?
Nope. You're good.
Watch Ghostumentary on Amazon Prime.
Stare at yourself really close in mirrors.
Yeah, listen, hey, everybody should send us a video of them on Instagram doing a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Cool.
Look for us on
the Candyman.
Facebook. Eat, Drink, and Be Scary on Facebook. Or Ghostumentary on Instagram. Or you can find us on the website. Any of that stuff. So anyway, that's it. Everybody say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.